All right, for more on this, we're now being joined by David Dunn, who is a professor of international politics at the University of Birmingham and joins us live from England. And David Dunn, thanks very much indeed for talking to us this afternoon. Your thoughts on the intelligence inputs that were given to, the military and the top officials of the Israeli government all the way back in September, and they were as specific as saying that kibbutz could be attacked.
Well, this is a very shocking revelation. There have been rumours that this report existed for a number of months, but now for it to come out of the open just shows how ill-prepared the Israelis were. This is not just a failure of basic intelligence. This is a failure right the way up of political leadership, that no one responded to the information that they had. Because for intelligence to work properly, it requires the command authority to take it seriously and to act on it. And it's very clear from what the information is coming from this report shows, is that actually the Israelis could have been in a position to thwart this attack and to avoid those 1,200 deaths. So this is a political failure as much as anything else, and this will have repercussions for Netanyahu ultimately, because he bears responsibility for overall security.
Right. David Dunn, there are detractors of Netanyahu who would say that this was not just an intelligence failure or, a slow action process towards this, but also a deliberate attempt to go slow on the intelligence that was very much there in the system.
I think that's unlikely. I think what we see here instead is massive overconfidence on the part of the Israeli state that the Hamas were contained, that they were engaged in negotiations with the Israelis, that they were compliant in a variety of ways. And that mindset that actually Hamas would not attack made them discount the intelligence material that they came to. So that ultimately is a political failing, because it's a political decision to discount the intelligence and to rely on what they regarded as the bigger picture of Israel's relationship with Hamas.
Right, and the repercussions of this intelligence report are already being seen. There is, of course, the war cabinet that is being dissolved. There are people like Benny Gantz who have quit, saying that there is no end game in this war. There's also calls for Netanyahu to resign. There are public protests. What do you think happens next from here?
Well, the difficulty with this situation is that Netanyahu is massively unpopular as an individual, but his policy of flattening Gaza is popular with the population as a whole. He himself realizes that if he were to resign and have elections, not only would he lose any subsequent election, but actually he may be prosecuted because there are alleged crimes hanging over his head at the moment. So he has no incentive to actually succumb to the popular will to get rid of him, and he has every incentive to carry on, despite all these revelations demonstrating that actually his policies ultimately were responsible for the attacks on Israel on October 7th.
Dunn, thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest on that. New revelations coming in on the October 7th attack, which clearly state that the Netanyahu government and the intelligence organizations had enough information about it. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.